thing. Like nobody's taking him serious at
Yeah, but
all.
if he was
And
a
so
traitor,
obviously
he
the
wouldn't
traitors aren't
act
going to
like
kill
he's
him.
acting now. Like, he'd be so different if he was a traitor. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
he'd be like, "Hey guys, like who do you think's a traitor?" Like, you know,
Yeah.
like
Hey everyone, thanks for watching this episode of BachMakers. Make sure to
Like
comment.
and subscribe.
Thanks for watching. Keep watching. Hello everyone, welcome back to BachMakers presented by Good Time Media. Today we are covering, I believe, episode 6 of Traitors.
Traitors.
Stop.
Sorry.
Okay. I will say this about the voice. I did put out a clip saying I don't like the voice. It hasn't grown on me, but I understand why people love it. I still don't like it, but I get the campiness of it. And it's just something I'm going to have to live with, and I'm going to be fully aware of that. But I still don't love it. And people are mad at me for not liking it, whatever. Anyways, lot to get into this episode. Let's just go kind of through the episode. We start with killing Bob H right off the bat. The Traitors are a total mess. We'll talk about them a little bit. First thing I want to talk about, Danielle being so upset that they killed Bob H. I don't think she understands the concept of the game. You have to kill people. And she's like, I feel so bad. We killed Bob H. I didn't want to. It's like you have to kill people. I don't know what she's thinking. She's losing her mind.
Yeah, I was kind of confused with the Bob H kill, but then like it all made sense, and I was like, wait, that actually it seems brilliant. I think that was a good. Who they were also gonna kill Ivor, um, which I guess that would have made sense. But yeah, the Bob H kill, I don't know. He kind of was there, but he was kind of like a cool person to have. He was a good talkative guy for the faithful, so I will miss that about him
Yeah,
not in the cast.
why? Okay, they've said multiple times, and I don't know if either of you know the answer. They're so convinced that Ivor is like confirmed faithful. Why are they convinced of that? What did I miss there?
I think it's just because at the start everybody thought he was a traitor, like the first round table, and then since then there's just been nothing on him, and so it was like, oh, well then he's obviously just a faithful.
I don't think he talks enough for anyone to like suspect him.
Yeah,
So now no one cares.
he'd be the perfect traitor. If he actually was a traitor, he'd be pulling the greatest season of all time because everyone's like, yeah, Ivor's fine. We're chill with him. But yeah, no, the traitors are in absolute disarray right now because they all are trying to kill each other. Boston Rob is on his own, and you can tell just the way he's talking. He's like, I murdered this person last night, or I murdered Bob H. He thinks he's the only traitor at this point, which I would argue he really is, because I don't know what the other two are doing at this point.
I love Carolyn. I feel like you have something against Carolyn. I do not. I, she's smart. Like, they don't think anything of
No,
her.
no,
No, I
Carolyn's
don't think
not.
she's smart.
She's
I
not
think
smart.
she's playing it. She's playing dumb, and she's doing a good job, right? Like she's doing a good job. She definitely has the best odds of any traitor to win
I
by
don't
by
think she's
far.
playing dumb. I think she's playing her personality. Like, she's playing into like no one thinks like she's stupid. Like, they know she's a person with a brain, obviously, but like I think they just think she's quirky, and because she's quirky, she's a traitor, not that she's stupid.
Okay, but I'm flashing forward to the very end. They had Wes. They had Wes. Everyone was ready to
Yep.
vote Wes. And then all of a sudden, Carolyn is just like, you know what? Danielle. Let's throw Danielle out there for no reason. They didn't have to do that.
Because she's
I
so
mean,
mad.
Exactly. You can't be
but wait, but
emotional.
hold it
You're a
in, hold it in.
traitor.
You have to hold that in until literally the next day because you know Wes is getting the vote or Rob, Wes or Rob, and it's kind of like, all right, Carolyn, you need to use your vote on Wes, right, to kind of back up the other traders. I guess maybe that puts you in a little shade, but like vote Wes, like everybody fucking else, like vote Wes, and then the next day go to Rob and be like, all right, you and I can just do this. Let's get Danielle out because I, I don't even know what she's doing.
At this point, it's probably the smart play to get rid of Danielle because she
Oh
is a
yeah, 100%.
wild card. which is insane. Like the Traitors are falling apart. They have no like camaraderie. They're all Boston Rob is just the only traitor at this point. Is the only one.
I think if
Yeah.
they get Danielle out and like actually team up, like Carolyn and Boston Rob, then I think
Yeah.
they can do good things. Because
Yeah.
Danielle could turn on like not even turn on them because she's like trying to turn on Carolyn, but it's just not working, and it's like making Danielle. I think it's going to make Danielle look worse that
Yeah.
she's going after Carolyn like that.
I will say, I'm saying all of this knowing Boston Rob should be out next episode.
Oh,
If he's not,
Like they're the dumbest cast of all time. They literally it
Oh.
came down to this round table at the very end. I know we're all over the place this episode, but it's just one episode recap. It was basically Wes or Boston Rob, and then Wes gets banished. He's not a traitor. He's a faithful. It's Boston Rob. Like it's on the everything has been set for them.
mhm.
And if they don't execute and they don't kill Boston Rob or banish Boston Rob next time, they deserve to lose. All the faithfuls deserve to lose.
I am proud of Gabby for voting Boston Rob though, and not Wes.
Mhm.
That was good of her.
Yep. Gabby,
yeah. But she hasn't trusted Boston Rob since the second he got there because she doesn't know anything about him, right? She doesn't know any Survivor, but she knows he's like good at this game,
Yeah.
and he's
Yeah,
a
but he
threat.
also won. He was on what like wait, I don't know if it was like 8 seasons of Survivor and won one.
I think he won
Like-
multiple times.
No,
He's only
I
won
think he-
Survivor once.
I think he won once. Fact check me, but
I will because
He also got second when his wife won, and I think maybe like he let his wife win or like it was
yeah, there
kind
was
of
something
like
he
a-
like asked people to protect her. I've gotten a lot of TikToks about like their love story because people are
Yeah,
like,
they
guys, like
did.
don't forget, like he's hot, and I was like, oh okay, and she was really pretty, so like it was like a really cute like love story.
okay, he's competed in Survivor 4 times.
Okay, 4 and 1 once.
And he beat out 17 other contestants, winning Survivor Redemption Island. And then he was runner-up in Amazing Race, and then runner-up in Survivor All Stars. So he goes far in these games
yeah.
because like everyone's talking
He's
about how
famous for a reason. Like if his job is game shows like this,
Mm-hmm.
you're obviously good. Like
When I also saw Wes's stats on wins, he's competed like in 23 shows and won 3 times, I think. So
Yeah.
his odds are like way worse.
it was funny the line where he said quantitatively I'm better than all of you here. It's
Wes's
such a-
outro I thought was so funny.
so
like-
good.
I loved it. Like
I love just the
Yeah, double bird, fuck you, fuck everyone here.
that was
I'm
so
out.
funny.
That was good. They did so then they do the challenge thing where they have to get the gunpowder and also the chests with the shields, which so dumb to
I-
bring 5 people to one chest with one shield. What why do that? Go rogue. If you're going to go for the shield, go rogue. Don't go with a group of people.
And that was like the
I-
worst challenge yet. It was so stupid.
I hate all the challenges. I think they're the stupidest shit ever. Let's figure out new ways to do the shields and do the cash prize. The challenges are just a waste of an episode. Like honestly, if I'm gonna skip any part of this episode for time, I'm skipping so much. I'm skipping probably the whole challenge, right? People care about the gossip. People care about the drama. People care about the round table. That's the pinnacle of each episode. The challenges are just like a filler. They're filler. They're like the
Mhm.
group dates on Bachelor, right?
Yeah.
They're just kind of just throw them in there. They don't really matter. Like
Yeah. Which like that's I would argue I want more of for like the Bachelor franchise. I want more of them sitting around talking to each other in the mansion. I want more of that rather than more group dates. One thing with the challenges, I think they just need to get rid of the money aspect of those challenges. Have a set money amount at the beginning of the season and say this is what you're competing for, and then just do the challenges competing for shields and like immunity.
Mm.
Because the money aspect is like I still don't quite understand it.
yeah. I also think like maybe something besides shields. Like maybe there's like a shield so you don't die at night. But if there's also like an aspect of like you can't get banished. Or like you're exempt from the round
Oh.
table. People can't vote for you and you can't speak at the round table. Like you just don't get to go. You don't have to
Mm.
deal with that like
Or like
drama and everything
or like you could lose your vote somehow. Like if you lose the challenge, you don't get a vote at the round table.
at the round table. Something like that, like spice it up a bit.
Yeah.
Something like that. And I don't know if you guys have played like Mafia or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like there's different spin-offs and like different roles that they could add. And I saw a video of like, oh, which Mafia role would you want to see? And like I think it'd be cool to like have a doctor, and the doctor like saves one person every night. And so like if they save the person that dies,
Mhm.
that murders that traitors try to kill, then it's like they're actually saved and nobody dies. Something like that, just to spice it up, would be.
Yeah, but in Mafia, if you're the angel or doctor or whatever, you can save yourself. So I think everyone would just do that. And then it'd be like, oh.
Yeah.
Unless you're Danielle who saved like Dolores or whatever, and that was crazy.
But everybody knows who the doctor, or not everybody knows the doctor, but like
No, you
the
don't, because
doctors.
it's like one tap Mafia, two tap Angel. And you
Yeah,
only
but I think like it's announced at the beginning of the day who the angel saves though. And so if they're like, oh, they keep saving the same person, it's just like they're just saving themselves. So like,
Yeah.
that'll work as a.
I think there should be some aspect of like an instant kill. You can call it like a silver bullet, where like hidden throughout the mansion, there's like an actual like silver bullet where if you find it, whoever you vote for at the round table is is banished immediately. Like you get an instant kill. So like you trump everything else. That would be sick. Because if the traitors find it, then they get another ban. They get to banish someone. I think that would
people would
be
go too fast though.
But I think there's only one.
Really?
Like there's only one per season, and it's like really hard to find.
Oh, okay. That
Just
could
an
be
idea.
interesting.
We're just an ideas podcast. We're throwing ideas out
Just
there.
pitching it.
Yeah.
in the box.
I do like the idea that we saw like this episode with, how they kind of disguised who has the shields. It's like, oh, don't tell, everybody who's got a shield, because then like the traitors will know who they can't kill. So I like that, where it's like a little bit more, because in the other challenges, who had the shields. Like you saw like the stone heads or whatever of like that these people have a shield, or then they did the riddle challenge. Like those two people had a shield, so the traitors knew they couldn't kill them. I kind of like the idea of traitors not knowing who they can and can't kill, but it makes it even harder for the traitors, which the game's hard enough.
And we also brushed over again too fast how stupid it is that they're like, oh, there's a shield right here. Let's bring 6 people to it. And then I forget, like Carolyn just grabbed it. She was like, yeah, I'm just gonna take it. And all the other
And Tom was like,
And then didn't like Derek and Chriselle, did they rock, paper, scissors?
yeah.
that
and
them?
then another,
Oh, wait,
and then another one. Rock, paper,
Whoever
scissors.
it was, didn't they say like rock, paper? Wait, no.
Paper, rock, scissors.
They said it wrong. They just said it wrong. And I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Unbelievable. And also shout out Dylan for just apparently being unbelievable at rock, paper, scissors. That's a cool skill to have. Like,
Yeah.
That's
Dylan's
pretty
so
impressive.
great. He's awesome.
I'm gonna squeeze in a little more Tom talk because I love him. I can't.
Tom eating like the one
yes.
of him hunched over,
What
and then
I think
Gabby walks in.
that moment sums up Tom right there. I don't know any
So
backstory
funny.
of Tom other than this show. Him sitting there munching that salad as no one has ever munched a salad before, and Gabby walking in immediately disgusted and just ugh, and walks out. I was like, yes, this is what I envisioned Tom. He's so entertaining, yet everyone around him hates him.
Wait,
God,
did
but
he have
if
a
he-
conversation with Brittany, or who was he when he was like telling Brittany his theories,
It's
and
so
Brittany was like,
Dolores,
"No,
yeah.
no, that's wrong." He was like, "Listen."
He's like, you don't understand. I needed to see the meme, like the Zach Galifianakis with the equations going over. That is Tom's brain 100% of the time. It's so fun.
That's why I think if he's a traitor, obviously he'd be on edge 24/7. If he was a traitor, he'd be like so sussed out. But he would kind of be great because everybody wouldn't like expect it, and he's just such like a. They've kind of like casted him like to a side, like oh he's just doing his own thing. Like nobody's taking him serious at all.
Yeah, but if he's a
And so obviously the
he wouldn't
traitors aren't
act
going to
like
kill
he's
him.
acting now. Like, he'd be so different if he was a traitor. Like
Yeah.
he'd be like,
Yeah,
he'd be like, "Hey guys, like who do you think's a traitor?" Like, you know.
It's like, oh man, yeah, I wonder who it is, guys. Yeah, watching him try to act normal would actually be incredible. I keep forgetting the overall concept of the show because they're all so like weirdly unique in their own way. It's because they're grabbing the best of the best personality-wise from these other shows, which makes sense. Because I'm like, you get Gabby, you get Tom, Boston Rob's great at his game. Carolyn just has this face all the time where she looks like she's in pain. She's like all the time. Like she's like almost hunches over with her neck. I'm like, Carolyn, like calm down, breathe. You're good. She could easily win this show if she just doesn't shoot herself in the foot. But she continues to shoot herself in the foot.
Yeah. I don't think she's really shooting herself in the foot, but
Vote-
she's not helping her case by putting a target on just the traders in general, like another trader. Like I don't get why, like, so the people at the end that win, right? It's either faithful or the trader or traders. The traders could just split the pot. Like what? The fact that you're not working together is just baffling to me. Like the more numbers of you guys there are, the more information and the more votes you have.
Yeah. Think about it this way. The only people targeting Carolyn are the traders. Because now Boston Rob has a radar up and Danielle is now targeting Carolyn. That's the only no one else. Well, Boston Rob's just mad because they're fighting. He's like, I got to take them both out because they're going to ruin me somehow. No one else is thinking Carolyn besides the other traders. So Carolyn, if you just be nice to the other traders, you're fine. But she refuses to, and she got emotional and then tried to take out Danielle, which small part of me thought like maybe it was a smart play because if she voted for Wes and then they eventually find out that the person is taking Boston Rob's side, they're gonna. So like I thought about that. I don't think she's thinking that far ahead, and a majority of the people were on Wes at that point, so I don't think it would have made a difference. But that's going to get interesting here because once you find a trader, you got to find out who has been voting alongside that trader. So it would be smart for them to vote for different people at the round table.
Mm-hmm. I agree. But I do also think that like her voting for Danielle is also kind of like a nod to Rob, like kind of signaling him like, hey, Rob, like, you know, I'm not like on your side, but like I kind of support you and like I'd rather you and me than me and Danielle kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's gonna end up, you know, salvaging if Boston Rob somehow survives next week. I mean, I'd be shocked, but like I think him and Carolyn, they could do it. They could do it.
What?
They could do it. It'd be tough, but they could do it.
Dude, but okay. If Boston Rob goes home next week and it's Carolyn and Danielle, it's over. There's no way those two can go to the finish line.
Because people were either one of them would have to take each other out. Like I think Carolyn would should have be like, I have to do this my own. I have to take Danielle out. But then at the same time, if they're both together, and then people are like, all right, we got Boston Rob. Who's next? And like, let's say Carolyn and Danielle make a pack, and they're like, all right, we're good. Let's stop fighting. Let's work together. And they actually do that, and they stop talking shit about each other. Then people are gonna be like, wait, can we go back to that when you called her shit out, and now you are completely like good? Like, is that not? Now it's just sus for everybody. So I don't know. I mean, I think who's the guy from Big Brother? The guy that's the cop. The guy that's clearly good at these type of games.
I wrote these.
And knows calls
Derek?
Boston Rob.
Derek?
Yeah, Derek.
Yeah.
They have to kill him, right? They have to.
Yes. Yes.
Because he is the ringleader.
Yeah.
And
but then he told Dylan and was like, "Hey man, they're gonna kill me, and it's gonna be Boston Rob." Like Boston
and Brittany, and he said Brittany,
which is that's where he's gonna get himself in trouble.
Which that could save, because you know Dylan's gonna come crawling to Boston Rob and be like, "Hey, Derek told me this. Like, I think it's you. Like, all the evidence says you." You know, but he's still that golden retriever, you know, and he's still gonna like kind of trust Boston Rob, be like, "Man, no, like Boston Rob, like." So I don't know. I don't know who they're gonna kill. I guess we saw in the preview that like they at least kill him in person. So
I didn't even see the preview. I gotta start watching previews, man. I did it for The Bachelor too. I skip as soon as the episode's
I don't watch the previews for this show. I don't like spoilers.
Well, it doesn't spoil anything. It just says like next week's episode, the three, like the people they kill, like I guess tonight, you know, when they're up there deciding, they do it like they bring the person they're going to kill in front of the 3 traitors. So we'll get to see their live reaction
Oh,
of
that's sick.
Oh,
the kill.
that's so fun. Well, that
But at the
person
same time, why don't they always do that?
Yeah, I want those reactions every time. I want you to walk up, like, "Hey, we're gonna kill you," and you have to like walk up to the 3, and then I want.
And you're like, no, you.
I'm addicted as much as I have kind of looked down upon the campiness of this show. I'm addicted to the hoodie reveals. I'm addicted to them. I want that every single time. I want to bring the person who's getting killed up to the, what do they call it? The little,
the turret.
yes, the turret. And then I want them to reveal their hoodie or take back their hoodies every single time. I'm addicted to them.
Yeah.
I can't get enough of those. So another small thing I liked about this episode was Boston Rob's, I don't want to say arrogance, but maybe a little bit, gassing himself up at the round table, be like, man, whoever's pulling the strings behind this is super smart guy who's figuring all this out. I was like, you're good.
They're all sheep. They're all sheep. How do they not see it right in front of them? Which I guess, as us as the audience, we have
know.
all the information.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot harder in their shoes. But like, come on, like he came in the first day, he got a traitor. Like, it's because he was one. Like, come on.
Okay, here's a question for you guys. I haven't really thought this through. Could this show work if the audience doesn't know the traitors?
I've thought about this and I've had this conversation before, and I think no. Like, yes and
Okay.
no. Like, it'd be really fun if they didn't, but it would just ruin so many things.
Yeah.
Like the way we see people interacting with each other. Like, it's just an element that's like essential to like the point of the show.
Yeah.
But it would be really fun in another world if we also didn't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's very similar to Love is Blind, to where we can see them, but they can't see each other. And some people that watch Love is Blind do the whole thing where they put like the blanket on their TV and they only can see like the name and the age. And so they're kind of like also in the pods. I think it's similar to that. Like there should be a way to watch it where you don't know who the traders are. I think that'd be really cool, a unique way to watch it. But the majority of people obviously want to know the traders.
Yeah.
And like watch with it because that changes how they're editing too.
Yeah.
Because they obviously show Carolyn and Boston Rob's and Danielle's like interactions and facial expressions more than everybody else.
And I think a big part of it is deciding who is and isn't playing a good game, and you wouldn't know that until after the fact, hindsight. So you'd almost enjoy it. You wouldn't be able to enjoy it until you watch it back and be like, "Oh, Danielle's playing the worst game anyone's ever played. I didn't know that." Like, we would not be enjoying that part of it if we didn't know she was a traitor. We would never. So I think that was just a thought I was thinking about. I was like, maybe it'd be fun with not knowing. But yeah. So for next week's episode, I think it's if Boston Rob doesn't go home, the Traitors will win. If Boston Rob does go home, is banished, then the faithful have a chance. That's where I'm sitting. I think it's a big episode. If they don't kill Boston Rob, they're stupid.
Well, I mean, I guess first, who do you think the traitors are killing? Do you think it's Derek, 100%?
It should be, but
You think, but then like maybe you gotta do a thing a step ahead. What if the traitors were like, let's kill Boston Rob?
no.
What if Carolyn and Boston Rob were like, let's kill Danielle? Or they'd be allowed to do that?
I don't know.
They'd be like, no, actually, like we want to use our kill on Danielle.
Or they have majority. It's like
Yeah, it's literally majority.
Can they do
I think
that?
They would be able to. I think they can do it.
Oh,
like,
that'd be so good. I think.
But then, it'd be probably pinned on Carolyn. So Carolyn would want to do that. So honestly, is Danielle in like a really good spot? Is Danielle actually in a good spot?
She might be.
What if she wins the show? What if she wins?
I'm very mad. I'd be very mad. I don't know. But who else could they kill? They could kill Ivor. They've thrown his name out a billion times. They're gonna keep Sandoval around as long as humanly possible. I just can't wait. It's gonna happen. There's gonna be a final. I'm trying to think the numbers. Let's say like 4, where there's 2 faithful and 2 traitors. And one of them's going to be Tom. And Tom's going to think he has it all figured out. And he definitely doesn't. Because they're going to keep him around. Because he's he's
Oh,
like
yeah.
he's so harmless to all. He creates more chaos in the house than anybody, and he's a faithful trying to figure it out. So they're gonna keep him around. I can't wait for him to be in like the final 4, final 5, trying to figure this all out. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. When do you think Gabby gets the boot? Because I feel like she low key, you kill her at some point soon if you're the Traitors. Like maybe not your next round, but like she's one of those that like is starting to pick up on some things,
Mm-hmm.
and she's starting to actually like have a, I don't know, have like a brain, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't have a lot of belief in the faithfuls at this point because they literally killed Wes just because they didn't like him. They're like, I don't
Mhm.
like your attitude, so we're gonna kill you. It's like they're
They're
not
not.
playing this game.
They're not good. They're not good at being faithfuls.
Yeah.
You're supposed
So
to vote for who you think, no matter what. Like,
at least someone's thinking outside the box, Tom. At least he's trying to piece
yeah,
this
he
together.
is.
He's not acting emotionally. He's just using his brain trying to figure it out whatever's going on up there. So is Tom playing the best game here? Some people are asking.
Like Brittany, I think is so bad at being a faithful.
Yeah.
Like for how good she allegedly is, and she was on Big Brother. She's so bad at being a faithful. If anything, I feel like she's kind of putting herself into traitor territory. Like I think stuff could really be blamed on Brittany. They could start pinning Brittany soon.
They should
You
kill
know,
Brittany because they don't know it, but what's his face? Derek is combining Brittany and Boston Rob. He thinks they're both traitors. They kill Brittany.
Derek's still going after Boston Rob, regardless.
Yeah,
No.
but it would throw him off the trail a little bit. It would be like, hey, down boy, it wasn't me. See, Brittany's gone. So
Yeah, because then maybe Dylan would start to believe Boston Rob,
yes.
not Derek.
So is that the best kill for them possible? Is that the smartest kill at this
Brittany?
point? Brittany?
I mean, no, because I still think you can kill Derek and just like have his whole investigative, like, because he's a threat. He's definitely the biggest threat, and that's what you want gone.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely the biggest threat. He's gone, and then you kind of just be like, dude, they're pinning it on me. Like, all right, vote for me. Like, just vote, just vote. I know I'm out. And then Boston Rob does that pity party, and be like, guys, but it's actually, you know, like, why are you voting for me? Just because, you know, I don't know. He could get out.
Then it comes down to how much does Boston Rob trust his ability to control Dylan? Because Derek has told Dylan this plan, basically. So like Dylan's in the middle, and you have Derek on one side, Boston Rob in one ear. Like they're both in one ear. If Boston Rob thinks, hey, I have Dylan right where I want him, you don't have to worry about Derek because you can persuade him the other way. If you think, hey, he might be leaning towards Derek, you got to kill Derek.
I don't think you got to get Dylan. I think it's like the Sierra, those like random, like, is Dolores still here, or like who's the other housewife still here?
Sierra's catching on though. She said something at breakfast this episode where she's completely right about
about Boston Rob.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna
So
go ahead.
I think you've got to get Danielle out. Like if you're Boston Rob, you kind of got to not. You can't do the whole like going against the traitors. I mean, he can't like spearhead the Danielle thing, but he's got to get somebody else to lead it, him to follow, and then he can be like, okay, we got another traitor. Like, what do you want me to do here? I'm obviously a faithful, you know. And then hopefully, him and Carolyn can kind of ride into this sunset. But
it's got to be such a good feeling if you're on this show watching it back and you say something that's like dead on. Like if you have a sound bite of like, oh, I think Boston Rob's a traitor. That's got to be such a good feeling watching back. You'd be like, I knew it. I got it. Or incredibly frustrating because you're like, no one listened to me. But it would be fun to watch this back, seeing like either I knew all along, I just didn't trust it, or I had no idea what was going on. But yeah, no, I think
Tom just watching it back be like, wow, I didn't get a single one right.
Tom's watching it back, trying to figure out who the traitors are. He's like, wait, this TV show could be lying to me. I gotta trust my theories. Yeah, but no, I'm loving this show. I'm very invested. I'm having a great time with it. So yeah, we'll keep coming back each week, recapping episodes until this thing's done. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for Bachelor Week 2 recap. Peace. Thanks for watching this episode of BachMakers. If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider joining our Patreon page linked in the description below. It's $5, cup of coffee, and it helps support us a ton. Thank you, and maybe we'll see you next week.
Yeah, and from next week on the BachMakers, we shave Wyatt's head off.
Maybe. Only one way to find out.
By tuning in.
That was implied.
Back to you in the studio.
And cut.
Thanks, Julianne.